Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much for my ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him cause he run a bit, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke, cause it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folk. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some girl would giggle and I'd get red, some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fist got hard and my wit got keen. I rode from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars, and I'd kill the man who gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at the table, dealing studs, sat the dirty, mangy dog who named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and grey and old. When I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue, how do you do? Yeah, now you're gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he came up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. Well, I busted a chair right across his teeth. He crashed through the wall into the street, kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood in the beer. Yeah, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and I heard him curse. He went for his gun, but I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. And he said, "Now son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you would have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong. Yeah, he said, "Now you've just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right. And tell me now, I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, for I'm the dirty who named you Sue." Yeah, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him my pa and he called me his son. I came away with a different point of view, and I think about him every now and then. Every time I try, every time I win. But if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill, George, anything but Sue.